Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco Dish Out on Movies, the only movie review show on YouTube to review movies in terms of food. And it's just Marco here to review Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie. Yes, I did go see this movie. I thought I didn't exactly rush out to the theater to see it like I normally do with new releases. But I thought I should go and support good movies in theaters. If you guys notice a trend, I go to the movies to support good movies. I don't go to the movies to put money in the pockets of people who say, fuck your characters, fuck your comics, fuck everything that you grew up with, fuck the characters that you grew up reading, F them. We're going to do what we want to do because we're better than you and we can do whatever we want. I go to see movies where they actually listen to the fans, where they make a good movie. And I gotta say, for a kid's movie, this is really good. I mean, seriously, I don't remember the last kids movie that I actually liked this much. I mean, it's still a kids movie. There's a lot of plot holes all over the place. Well, not all over the place, but there's some plot holes. And they're only plot holes that you would accept if it was in a kids film. But God, this movie was good. I mean, it was shockingly good. It was so good. The moment it opened, I started enjoying it because the Sonic in this movie, first off, I'm not really familiar with Sonic very much. I mean, I know a lot about him in terms of just in general, but I didn't really play him a lot as a kid. I did play one game of his where it was like a computer game, but it really wasn't an in-depth exploration of the character, so I don't really know a lot about him. But this movie, damn, it was good. It was Sonic all the way, and Sonic in this movie, basically, if your kid wants to see Deadpool and you're one of those helicopter overprotective parents who won't let him watch Deadpool for some stupid reason, then show him Sonic, because Sonic is going to give him exactly what Deadpool would have given him if you weren't so overprotective. Sonic is the Deadpool for little kids. I mean, he's a great character, and this movie was good. I mean, I can't say that enough. It was a good movie. And it's so early in the year, too. I mean, this movie, it might not win Oscars. It might not be remembered by a lot of people in upcoming years, but this could be a great start to something great. To a great kids series, to an iconic series. Actually, they could do so many different things, because this movie, it is an origin movie. It does have that kind of origin feeling where you kind of wish the character was a lot more powerful, but he gets more powerful as the movie goes on, and that's what makes it even better. Is that it's just a steady growth of a character. And for a kids movie, it's surprisingly written well too. It's got some very clever humor. It's got some smart humor. I think the only cringy sort of like dumb thing, but it totally fits the character, is there's a couple of scenes where he does a trendy dance, and I despise that. I despised seeing that, because I thought, oh, this is cringy. But the rest of the movie I really liked. I love Jim Carrey in it, but I do think that they showed too much of him in the trailer. In the trailers, actually. I think that it would have been better to just do a couple little clips, or maybe just one clip just shown over and over, because most of his scenes are revealed in the trailers, unfortunately, but still, he is really good. And surprisingly, this movie turned me back on to Jim Carrey. that sounds weird, what I just said, but it really did, because for years now I have had a beef with him for how he's acted. You know, he did that weird documentary where he was pretending like he was possessed by the spirit of Andy Kaufman so that he could do that Man on the Moon movie, and just, oh god, weird behavior. Only the behavior that you'd see on a GTA game, like behavior you'd hear about on the radio on a GTA game. And then you have Kick-Ass 2, which in my opinion, Kick-Ass 2 is his best movie in terms of his performance. He does an incredible job in Kick-Ass 2. He plays a serious character. He's still got comedy, and he's really good. I mean, you want to talk about great performances by comedic actors. Jim Carrey in Kick-Ass 2. But what happened when Kick-Ass 2 was coming out, he badmouthed the movie. He said, oh, Kick-Ass 2, it's a shitty movie. It's violent. It's going to encourage school shooters, all that bullshit that no one actually believes. And you know, he's lecturing people. He's this millionaire lecturing us about stuff that he knows nothing about. And it's total hypocrisy, because then he does this movie, Sonic, and the whole movie is just him trying to run around killing people and killing animals. I mean, this movie has more guns than Kick-Ass 2. I mean, what are you doing here, Jim? What are you doing? and I it's just, it's nonsensical. And so I was very turned off of him before seeing this film, but then I saw this film, I was like, wow, did Jim Carrey from the 90s time travel to modern day to be in this movie because he's a Sonic fan or something? I mean, really, really good job. And then, surprisingly, James Marsden. He was really good, too. A lot of people say he was unnecessary. Of course he was unnecessary. I mean, come on. His character has nothing to do with any of the mythology. But still, a lot of kids' movies nowadays, they always have to have the human element. And basically, if you've seen Alvin and the Chipmunks, it's because you have to have the stupid human with the chipmunks. Excuse me. If you've seen Curious George, you always gotta have the man in the yellow hat with Curious George. It's never just Curious George being Curious George. And I think a lot of people are getting sick of that, particularly me. I mean, I saw this trailer, I was like, this movie could be the greatest thing on earth, but why the F does James Marsden have to be in it? Why do we have to have a stupid human with the CGI character? I mean, it's enough. Enough. Sonic is his own character. He's so strong, he can lead his own movie. But here's the thing, James Marsden was really good. I really liked his character. I liked his girlfriend's character. I liked his girlfriend's mother. I liked the JoJo. I love that. I loved everything in this movie. Pretty much no complaints. I do think it was a little too fast. It kind of felt like it began and then ended the next minute. And I think that that's fine, because it feels like if this movie does really well, they can do a sequel that's like a lot bigger in terms of scope, and they can do a lot more than they did in this movie. But still, for what it was, I love this movie. It is not as good as The Gentleman. It's up there. It's so close to being better than The Gentleman, but it's just slightly not as good as The Gentleman. Still, fantastic movie. And now, I rate this movie in terms of food, which is what we do on this channel, by the way. I know that a lot of the times we don't, because we do TV episode reviews, and we only review TV shows in terms of food when the season is over and all that stuff. But for Sonic the Hedgehog, this is kind of a road trip movie, and so I thought a lot about road trips. And I thought about, when I was younger, I used to have something. I used to bring food on a road trip to eat in the car while I would watch movies on my portable DVD player or play with my Game Boy, which I'm sure everyone's like, what's a Game Boy? and but anyways, yeah, I would bring beef jerky and a bag of gummy worms. And I would eat beef jerky and gummy worms. And then, since the road trip direction of this movie was west, whenever we would go west on a road trip to Kansas City, I would always get a chocolate malt at Sonic. Oh, yeah, it's Sonic. Is that what it's called? Okay, I hope it's called. I I never even thought about it. It just occurred to me that the place is named Sonic. I would get a chocolate malt at Sonic, and I would enjoy it a lot. and and so that's what I rate this movie. But here's the thing: the beef jerky. I used to love beef jerky. I was a beef jerky fiend. I don't eat it anymore because it's way too tough on your teeth. It's just way too tough. And with this beef jerky, it was particularly tough, and it was also dry. And it was called Wild Joe's beef jerky. And that was my beef jerky of choice. I think it would be because it's the most flavorful. It's got a lot of spices, but I don't eat that anymore. And so what I'm saying is beef jerky is the representation of the shitty Sonic design. The Sonic design that we saw in the trailer, the first trailer, and we said, F that. That's the beef jerky. And so you know what? Just like in this movie, how we get to see Sonic enjoy his infamous food of choice, chili dogs, which I love chili dogs. I'm going to say, you know what? We went to Sonic, and I said, oh, god damn, I forgot the beef jerky. And so you know what? I'm going to get a damn chili dog. No, I'm going to get 2 chili dogs, because that is what I think of this movie. This movie listens to. This movie... Well, god, that sounded really crazy. This movie, it listens to you in terms of... When you're watching a movie and you want things to happen, you know that feeling nowadays when you watch a movie and you're like, God, I wish that would happen, but then something else stupid happens? This movie listens to you. And in a weird way, it's like this movie was tailor-made for me. It's like this movie, even though I'm an adult, F that, you can be an adult at any age and still go see Sonic. Fuck all the people who say otherwise, because this movie, it is a classic. It's up there with Jumanji, all those other great kids movies. It is a great kids movie. And so here we go with the rating. The chili cheese dogs, they are representative of Sonic. Sonic is the little kid's Deadpool. He was great. He was epic. He got powerful and powerful as the movie went on. I cannot wait to see him in a sequel. And then I would have the gummy worms. The gummy worms are representative of James Marsden. You don't need to have gummy worms because they're really bad for you. It's basically just sugar and shit. And then also Jim Carrey, of course, the master of comedy nowadays. He is representative of that chocolate malt. And let me tell you, on a road trip, getting a chocolate malt is like the greatest experience you could ever have. It is so great. Just go to Sonic, get a chocolate malt, get a chili cheese dog or 2, and then get some gummy worms. And that is the experience of this movie, because this movie, it has a great cast of people. It has great writing. It has great effects. Obviously, I'm not going to complain about the computer effects being kind of wacky here and there, because obviously they had to go back and redesign everything. But you know what else? Is that I grew up watching movies with worse CGI than this. A lot worse. This is a masterful CGI compared to the stuff I watched. Like, if you saw my top 10 Christmas movies, Uh, Talk about Casper's Haunted Christmas. Oh my god. Talk about bad CGI. But anyways, now I'm going to get into spoiler alert. So spoilers, I love the post-credits scene. I thought that was great. I cannot remember the name of the character, so I don't want to seem like a jerk who doesn't know the characters and all that stuff. So I'm not going to even attempt to say it. But I also loved how Jim Carrey, he looks like the iconic Dr. Robotnik at the end in the post-credits, kinda. And I love that. I cannot wait to see him in the sequel. In fact, I'm surprised that he didn't eat anything. Because in the games, he is fat. He's just gigantic. And so I was thinking that maybe he's going to be depressed because Sonic beats him, and then he's going to just eat himself until he's just fat, like a Fat Thorn, Avengers Endgame. Ooh, don't remind me of that again. But yeah, I was kind of surprised they didn't do that as well, because that seemed like it would be a very natural progression of the character for him to be like, oh damn, I lost, and then he just eats himself into being a biggest loser. and what else could I say? I mean, I liked it when he slowed down time with the bar brawl scene. I thought that was really cool. That sent chills down my spine when it came into full effect, and he just did what he had to do. I'm telling you, Sonic is the new Deadpool for kids. Because also, Deadpool sucks right now. I mean, he just came out with Deadpool 2, and it sucked. And so maybe Sonic is gonna supersede Deadpool, weirdly enough. So yeah, I totally recommend going out to see this movie, supporting good films, supporting good people, supporting good filmmakers, not going to the movies to support people like the people who made Birds of Prey. So yeah, that's my review. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe to our channel. We could use the subscribers. But if for some reason you cannot subscribe, that's okay too. But yeah, goodbye everybody!